I'm Phoenix Wright, and I don't think I need to do anything this trial. I'm just gonna sit back and let Edgeworth do the whole thing. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
Well, remember. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant?
Yes, it most certainly is.
Well, okay then. You got me there.
He sure gave in fast. Okay. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun.
Yesteryear?
It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial.
I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant.
An onion.
No!
The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
I hate that I said that, because all I can see is an onion since then.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
Oh no, has he run to the end of his bluffing powers again? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor.
Oh man.
Oh no.
You've gotta admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence.
He's
very
trying,
well.
Okay?
The defense may begin its cross-examination.
Finally, we get to do something. And that thing is press Q. Hold it! 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct?
Yes. She was second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever.
That is not an unbiased assessment.
Yes, I remember.
Well, the judge agrees.
He's biased, too. Deputy Chief Gant and Ms. Skye used to be quite the pair.
I believe they shared the same office.
That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day, too.
The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day.
Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work.
Never make a promise to go to dinner with your sister. That's the end.
Never.
Hold it! A man?
Yes, Joe Dark. He was, a serial killer.
He was a man.
Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest.
When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right?
Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator.
Oh, no.
He must have been in panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Skye and Gant's office.
There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him.
Him.
Do not that man Joe Dark.
That man.
Hold it! What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were 2 people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about Gant. Also, that didn't answer my question.
You're forgetting about Gant? That is a bad idea.
The big orange elephant in the room. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony.
I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark. When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead.
And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. In question mark?
I don't clearly remember what happened then. But
Hold it! Can you tell us about that?
Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. Just then, the lights went out.
You might say it was dark.
Dark.
The lights? It was just about this time of year.
Wow.
There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby.
So the electricity went out?
Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
I have dark vision.
Just blindsight.
Oh. Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind. I see. Except for in the dark. I told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman. The victim. Stop! I don't want to hear anymore. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago.
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw?
Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out.
So I sat there silently and wasted his time.
That's why I drew a picture.
A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
Yeah, I'm good. This picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning. Objection! But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony? Yes, Your Honor, I would mind.
Well, too bad. Hold it! You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right?
Yes, I wanted to do everything I could to help with the investigation. I can still see it now, whenever I close my eyes.
That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died, yet I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken?
But I did draw it, I swear! I'm not just imagining it.
This picture that Emma drew. That reminds me. I guess I should check the evidence again. That's true, actually. Thank you for the reminder, Phoenix. I didn't rotate anything at all. Well, anyway, let's continue. this scene that imprinted an image in your mind. Can you please describe it to us?
The man. That man.
What? That's my line. Okay, sorry I did not look at the evidence for a very long time. I don't remember what the last thing I rotated was. I guess I finished the vase now, so maybe I can click on it. I can click on that, blood. Oh my god, no, 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 no.
Uh-oh.
Time to rotate a vase in court again! The jar has no bottom, so the hole goes right through. I wonder if it's really a jar, or some kind of weird telescope? Wow,
Yeah, I
glad
think
we did
that's
that. The dark red stains must be blood traces from the incident 2 years ago. Only the fragment found in Chief Gant's office still has lines remaining on it. Okay. Yeah, don't mind me, Your Honor, while I just real quick. Don't think I can rotate this. Don't think I can rotate this. Think I would just look at this picture. Yep.
Cute.
Oh? Can I rotate?
Oh!
Oh.
Don't need a ghost to tell me to flip over a piece of paper this time.
Take that.
Why is that fist, like, bigger than the head?
She was 13.
He was wearing boxing gloves.
A picture is drawn on the back of the evidence list in magic marker. I've got a very bad feeling about this. Okay.
I like that the knife is not sharp either. It's not pointy.
Can I rotate this? A clear handprint can be seen on the leather cloth. The print belongs to Emma. I think I'll keep this information to myself. Can I? Nope. Okay, we have rotated the evidence. Hold it! That must have been a real shock.
Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly.
Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage.
When lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was thrown aside, and the two began to wrestle each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them.
Emma doesn't have any reason to lie. But Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much about this as she can. Alright, guys. What are we doing?
I mean, could we show the picture, maybe?
Hey, guess who is a big genius and flipped over a piece of paper? Objection! Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you would insist on denying its existence? Huh?
I took damage from that.
Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold!
This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident.
Mm-hmm. Please turn it over, Your Honor.
Ooh.
Turn it over. Turn it. Ah! What's this?
At his old age, we have taught the judge how to flip over a sheet of paper.
Yes, what is that? It's sideways.
Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
It's so good.
Wow, she's an artistic genius!
Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling here.
Objection! What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
Huh? The judge continues to know nothing. These lists, they're different from each other.
Excellent observation there.
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one.
I wonder if there could be any subtext here.
What?
You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other.
Each of them has one half of the list.
Oh?
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What?
Oh, what?
Look at her little boots.
Order! Order! But, Ms. Skye, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Good question.
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor.
Wait a minute. Who turned the lights out? If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor!
Are you all right, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head.
If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list.
Oh?
I have never flipped over a sheet of paper.
Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's possible. Let's see.
Why does he have...
I'm a fucking idiot!
Is something wrong?
I've never turned over a piece of paper! Do you even have to ask?
Brain cells. Brain cell in this court.
Sorry, Your Honor. I like how they made the fucking image shake.
God.
There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing.
The badger!
It's him! I'm thinking about him.
Truly him.
Evokes feelings of him.
That's that. That thing. That thing that was dancing in the evidence room.
Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Love that we're hearing this right now.
I don't.
I'm really fond of it.
Very well. Witness? Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago? Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor.
What's wrong with Emma? Emma, I can't solve like 4 cases at once. She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. Emma's picture.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
Great testimony.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
In your mind.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here.
Sorry.
This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Are you okay?
Just in your mind.
The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
No. Hold it! Did you draw this picture right after the incident?
I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything.
During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gant and Ema Skye. 2 or 3 days later, the memory should still have been fresh in her mind.
Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black?
Because I only had one marker, okay?
That's a better answer.
It was an artistic choice.
Hold
What?
it!
They're like fucking cross-hatch shading or something.
So at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue?
No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor.
You were knocked to the floor?
Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed.
Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? Hold it! You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place?
No, I'm sorry.
Objection! The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here.
Anyway, this picture.
Just like, stop fighting. Anyway, this picture. Hold it! Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course! This is the exact scene.
It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives? Objection! Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright?
You're not a detective.
No, of course not. I'd better watch out, or he might find some way to cut my salary.
You don't have a salary.
Yeah, I mean, Lana fired you, so...
I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives.
I heard this picture
Okay, alright.
before I drew anything from the detectives.
So I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me. Mr. Wright? Is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Yeah, it could be better, Your Honor. It's the anatomy.
Well artistically rendered.
It's the composition. Huh? Oh, well... That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, There's clearly a contradiction here. That man's hand couldn't have been as big as his head. Okay. What's our contradiction, folks?
I really have an issue with that knife not being pointy.
Contradiction, that's not a knife.
I mean, because there was the broken knife.
That's true, the knife got broken, right?
Yeah. I guess the question.
She was seeing the broken knife.
I mean, would the broken knife already have been in like police custody or whatever? Or was it found like at the in Neil Marshall's body?
I was gonna say the broken tip was found in the victim's body.
So it might have been broken at that point.
Well, so that means it would have been. That means it would have been broken before he stabbed him this time, before he killed him with the stabbing. But the tip would already be in him. Nope.
What? Okay, whose body was it found in?
It was found in Neil Marshall's body.
Unfortunate
Okay.
slip of the tongue.
Just the tip.
I gotta go, guys.
Uh-oh.
Okay, what does the autopsy report say? Because, like, half the time, the issue with the murder weapon ends up being in the autopsy report, yeah?
Death due to loss of... Oh, that's Goodman.
Goodman.
Wrong autopsy.
God,
Stabbed
we
in
have
the
so
back,
many autopsy
died from
reports.
punctured heart and lung. A knife tip was in the wound.
Good thinking, because this is showing him facing, like them facing each other, right?
Well, he's,
Yeah.
like, kind of turning away.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we could try
Wait,
it.
no, hang on. Go back to it.
1 second.
Oh, wait,
Heart and lung.
So the tip was found in the
Yeah.
death wound, though.
Yes.
But there's no
I-
tip on this.
Correct.
There's no tip to be found in the wound.
I mean, sure. Like, because it could be that, or it could be like the way he's facing slash the left side of his back is further from Joe Dark right now. I don't.
Okay, yeah, but we agree that it's the autopsy report.
I think that's a solid idea to present. Good.
Okay. Well, I'll get right on that because it's. I just love how every case it's like, this is the truth, and Phoenix is like, did anyone read the autopsy report? Step 1,